So before we get into episode 23, here's the announcement for episode 25. We're going with the Helmet Lover episode. It's the name that has stuck with me since Jimmy Barnes made a number of phallic jokes as I was opening Star Wars Pops, and I don't mind. I've gone with it, and that is why we're going to go with this one. So as I'm trying to do more and more with these episodes now, I enjoy doing these, but I enjoy it a lot more when I get more people involved. So I'd love to get people involved in this one. So whether you're a YouTuber, Instagrammer, you don't need to be any, to be fair, and you'd like to get involved in this episode, here's what I'd like to do. If you want to send a video over of the pop with your favourite helmet, then do so via any of the links in the description for any of my social medias below. By the same account, if you are an Instagrammer and you follow me on there, or even if you don't but you watch these videos, get in contact with me through there, send me some photos and I can put something together through that. And if you're neither but you want to get involved in this, that would still be awesome. All you need to do is just get in contact with me again. Social medias, email, they're all there, and we can work out how we can do this and try and get as many people involved as we can. So if you want to send a video, try and keep it short, 45 seconds or so. And by the same account, if you want to just get in contact with me before you send anything to see if yours has already been picked and someone else has already done it, so that we can try and make it that there's no duplicates. Chances are there will be, but we can still sort that out and put videos out together. It's no bother at all. But that's what I'm doing. Episode 25, Helmet Lover episode. If you want to get involved, if you want to send something over, do so. But let's crack on with episode 23 and let's get the titles going. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 23 as it is of Top of the Funko Pops. A good one coming up for you now. I say that every single week at the moment, but they're coming from different people and I'm really enjoying it. So if you want to do it, get your videos in. But before we touch on this week's episode, one last big thank you to JKL Awesome for last week's episode. I hope you went over and had a look at his intro for me, because honestly, it's hands down my favourite. It's fantastic. But the winner of that episode is just up there. And getting into this week's episode, so this one is from somebody who, literally my first video dropped on YouTube and this guy commented and he's stuck with me since, so thank you so much for that. I've never said that to him before, but this is Jace from Not Suitable for Mum. A channel that covers pop vinyls, computer games, gut reactions. Somebody who's doing it and enjoying it, which is what it's about, which is why I have a lot of time for Jace. Really, really good member of this community. And we went back and forward. He's going to talk about that in the video, so I'm not going to get into too much detail with that. But because we had a themed episode a couple of weeks ago with Tell for St. Patrick's Day, this is another themed one. We've got WrestleMania coming this weekend, so this seemed the perfect time to get this episode out. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to hand over to Jace and he can show you episode 23.
Hello. Well, me and Lee have been talking about me doing one of these videos for a while now, and I've been umming and ahhing about what to do, and every time I come up with an idea, oh, somebody has already done it. So he said, what about something to do with wrestling? Now, we got WrestleMania right around the corner, and I thought that was a good idea, but what to do? And he was saying about main events and that, wrestlers, and it's very difficult to come up with a particular match for that group, if you will, that person. So I thought, okay, what else can I do? And then I thought about tag teams. So I've done a top 6. Right? I know it's supposed to be top 5, but I've done a top 6, so hopefully you'll forgive me for that. There are a few that didn't make it, but good teams, all the rest of it, all the same. And I'll elaborate on that in a little bit. But yeah, tag teams, and to qualify, they have to have had some sort of name. So anyway, the ones that didn't make it, we have, and you'll forgive me that I haven't got the pops associated with the tag teams properly. It's just what I've got in my collection at the moment. So anyway, the one that didn't make it were Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, right, or Razor Ramon and Diesel, if you will. And when they went to WCW, they became known as the Outsiders. Later on, part of the Wolfpack and NWO and all that lot. So yeah, they didn't make it, unfortunately. And another one that didn't quite make it, but one of the characters will be appearing in the top 6, Anyway, it's Daniel Bryan and Kane. That's Team Hell No. And they did hold the tag team titles for a while. They had a big storyline where they didn't really get on very well, and they underwent a bit of therapy, blah 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 blah, and they would hug it out in the middle of the ring. Bit daft, but it is funny enough. So yeah, and now let's get on to the top 6. So at number 6 we have this fella again, Kane. And this time he's teamed up with The Undertaker. It's Glenn Jacobs and Mark Calloway. And for the purposes of WWE, they were brothers, but not in real life. But anyway, again, really good team. They were, tag team champions again. Quite a few times, actually, if I remember correctly. Can't think of any one match that springs to mind, but good tag team, and it's good fun. So that's number 6. Okay, at number 5, we have Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels. Most of you will probably know that they were part of a faction, and indeed a tag team called D-Generation X. So yeah, they're pretty cool as well. They're the multi-time tag team champions again. You could argue that they were part of the stable, as I said, but they did win the title by themselves. So yeah, very cool. And at number 4 we have the New Day. Unfortunately, I don't have Kofi, so I can't include him in it as well, but it's Big E and Xavier Woods. Yeah. Between the 3 of them, they're 11-time tag teams champions at current count. Could it be even more by the time we get to this? And these are unicorn horns. So there we go. Pretty cool. Right, on to the top 3. So for number 3, I really couldn't leave these guys out. 2 of my favourites. And that is this guy. You know who that is? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And we had to team him up with Mick Foley. Now, unfortunately, I don't have, they haven't made a Mankind yet, because that would make more sense to you than this pose. But this would be the Rock and Sock Connection. Great fun team. Some of the skits they did were just so hilarious. The Rock's "This Is Your Life" and just. I mean, they did win. They did win. I'm pretty sure they had the tag team titles themselves, but it was more for sort of comedy value than anything else. But they did put on some really, really good matches. So anyway, yeah, that's number 3. So now let's go to number 2. Now, I know that some people are going to say, well, these guys aren't in WWE, and no, they're not. But they are one of the best tag teams on the planet, so I really had to include them. And originally from New Japan Pro Wrestling as part of the Bullet Club, they're now in the AEW and current tag team champions, and it is Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. Very modelled after another tag team, I feel. There's a little bit of HBK in there with their style and the super kick and all the rest of it. But when you'll see number 1 on the list, then you'll see why. They're not quite number 1. You'll see. Anyway, it's Nick and Matt Jackson. So let's get on to the big one, which is the number 1. So, number 1, there could have been other ones that were at number 1 if the Pops had been released. The Dudleys, Edge and Christian, they could have well been in there as well. So, as they don't, these are the only logical choice to pick. And I think you'll know why when you see them. That is Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys. One of the best tag teams ever. They inventors of the TLC match, which is just amazing when it's done right. Just phenomenal stuff they were doing back in the day. Again, with the Dudleys, with Edge and Christian. Also, teams like the Acolytes as well. And even, I can't remember who he was with now, but Chris Jericho was involved at one point. But yeah, really, really cool tag team. One of the best to ever do it. And such innovators, right? And this fella, especially, is a freaking nutter. I mean, he's got to be, if not my age, or I'm 50, if not my age, then close to it. Yeah. And he's still doing mad stuff that somebody half of his age shouldn't really be doing, to be honest. But anyway, you get the idea. So that's it then, folks. That is my top 6. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to hand you back to Lee now, and he'll tell you what you've got to do next. Bye.
So all the rules seem to go out the window there from you, Jace. I think Jace has actually done his own top 6 and told you his number 1. So your first vote is in for the Hardy Boys, and also he went for 6 instead of 5. But I mean, that rule's gone out the window so many times, so that's fine. So brilliant from Jace. I mean, he touched upon tag teams that haven't got pops. There's so many for me. Legion of Doom. Come on. And that Rock and Sock connection. I'm sure I've seen that's coming out at some point this year. I'm sure I've seen a Mankind pop, so I know Jace will probably be jumping on that when he sees it. But we will do usual rule of thumb. Voting closing on Monday. Let me know in the comments which one is your favourite. Whether you do a rundown, whether you just do a comment, it's fine by me. I'm getting quite good now at working out what people are saying. So get them into me, and we will have next week's episode coming up, which is from the Poptimus UK. I've mentioned that before what it is, but I'm not going to say it again because he'd tell me off for spoiling it. It was meant to be a bit of a surprise, but I'm not good with stuff with that like that, as you probably know already. So I've waffled on long enough. I've been on camera long enough, and I will see you next week for episode 24. Get your votes in, and until then, guys, big thank you to Jace, and bye for now. But what? Bye for now. Flipping out. Bye, guys. Have a good week.